Hi all, welcome back to this channel and our kayaking adventures. We are on our way to Craven Street right now on this rough road. And once we get to Craven Street, we're going to drop off the second car. Then we are going over to Bent Creek, which is where we're going to put in at today. We are on the final 15 miles or so of the French Broad River. We're doing 10 miles today. We have paddled this section many times. There's probably other videos of this section on my channel. This is part of our goal to kayak from the headwaters up to Woodfin Park, so we can't leave this section out. This is also a very interesting section. We can get a chance to look at the Biltmore house. And the section we've seen a bear swim across the river and got a good shot of that. That's in another video. You might want to check that one out, but watch this one first. So we'll see you on the water. We arrived about 9:30 a.m. There were already paddlers unloading their kayaks, boats, or other vessels. Some were going for a mile trip down the river. Others were unloading fishing equipment and probably hoping that today was the day they caught the big one. With the temperatures already at 64 and a high in the 80s, there was going to be a whole lot of people taking advantage of the warm weather. The parking lot was going to get very crowded and busy. We unloaded our kayaks and found a place to park and set our sights to see what type of adventure the day would bring. While the promise of warm weather brought many people out, I'd say that many others came out because they needed to get away from the quarantine conditions this pandemic has caused us. Ever since the first put in at Champion Park, there were warning signs posted indicating that there was construction taking place at the I-26 bridge. There would be one lane of safe passage for paddlers, so I was curious what that safe passage would look like. Under the I-26 bridge, the water is a little rough, and I've seen the water overtake a few paddlers who weren't prepared or got too close to the bridge columns. It really is a deceptive little spot under certain conditions. We made it under the bridge unscathed, so our next milestone was to find a newly installed web camera at one of the USGS monitoring sites. The USGS installed the camera to monitor the river just past the I-26 bridge construction. There are now 2 of these cameras along the French Broad. I'll post a link in the description to those cameras. I enjoy checking them out from time to time, especially during the heavy rains. It gives me an idea of what the water level is like. We found the camera. I waved. I'm not sure if anybody was watching to see it or not, though. The river was looking pretty clean and clear today. We hadn't had much rain, so there was little agricultural or construction runoff muddying up the water. The temperature was slowly rising, but the water was nice and cool. We passed a few fishermen along the way that were fishing from their kayaks. It's funny, back at Bent Creek it was very busy and hectic. Everyone was scrambling, unloading, preparing, and parking. However, once we got ourselves on the water, it was much calmer and peaceful. Our next point of interest, aside from enjoying the serenity of nature itself, would be the Biltmore estate. The Biltmore house is known as America's largest home. It was built between 1889 and 1895 for George Washington Vanderbilt. He amassed a huge fortune through steamboats, railroads, and various business enterprises. The estate now covers 8,000 acres. The French Broad River runs through the property. Both sides of the river, from the I-26 bridge until the confluence of the Hominy Creek, belong to the estate. They don't care much for paddlers venturing out onto their property. There are no trespassing signs along both sides of the river. Past Hominy Creek, Biltmore property is on River Right up until the confluence of the Swananoa River. Up ahead, Hominy Creek feeds its waters into the French Broad River. This is a nice spot to stop and take a break. During the summer months, there are beer sales and food trucks. However, with the current quarantine conditions, the French Broad outfitters who operate on this land have not been able to open up. Hominy Creek River Park is also in this area. It is a popular spot for people to put in or take out from the river. Just above us is I-40. Interstate 40 runs from Barstow, California to Wilmington, North Carolina, and is the third longest highway in the United States. The stairs on River Left is usually where a lot of tubers enter the water. One of the big local tubing companies operate from it. From this area on, we generally see quite a few tubers. While it is nice to see people enjoying the water, some tubers tend not to be on the water for the enjoyment of what's around them, but rather to make it a different place to bring a party. I surely don't miss the loud music blaring, the wafting cigarette smoke, and the drunks being loud and obnoxious. Maybe there's a few good things from this quarantine. I hope you have enjoyed our time on the river today. This is a fun section to paddle. We now have completed 71 miles of the 75-mile journey. As I am editing this video, we are under flood watch conditions. The river will not be suitable for us to paddle next weekend, so that'll postpone our final trip. Hope you have enjoyed our journey so far. Let me know in the comments if you've been down or planning to kayak the French Broad River. What was your favorite area? If you want to keep up with our adventures, then join Team Kayak 7 Seas by subscribing to this channel. Hit that notification bell to be notified when our next video is out. Check out our Instagram and Facebook and support us by liking this video.